Welcome to Out of Combat, our Casters and Cantrips post-show. My name is Nina. I play Kuda, the wonderful little old turtle. We have Max, who's our illustrious DM, and we also have Bun, who plays Emmy. And we just finished episode 30, which is full of all kinds of milestones. The 30th episode is huge. Big stuff happened during the day, which we'll talk about. And we leveled up.
Level 7.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited we're leveled up. Also, that was the longest combat we've had on the show yet, I think.
I think it was one of the longest episodes we've had in general. I think there's maybe one other episode that was longer, but I can't remember why or which one.
Yeah, definitely this season on the second campaign, this was one of the longer ones. I think we had some long ones in the first campaign, but I got better at time management and try not to do that when at all possible.
This was just a big deal though, because this was kind of for all the marbles. Like we were there. We got what we were there for.
Your boy.
Finally. And even Hayden eventually got what he was looking for during combat while we're all taking out all these guys and he's just fumbling around looking for his stuff. Which is funny though, because so currently, for those who missed the episode, first of all, go listen to it. Thanks. Okay, we'll wait. And now that you've watched it,
and we're back.
So currently, Taj is actually I think the only person on our team who even knows that Hayden's there.
Yeah,
she's the one that's seen him.
Yeah. Yes. So next episode is going to be really exciting.
It's going to be so emotional. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Emmy's definitely going to cry. Is Kuda going to cry?
Absolutely. Because I feel like we had like half a moment where we were like, are we going to see him? Is Taj going to tell us he's there? Like, because they had a moment of reunion and we're all like waiting.
No, we were ready. And then Max is like, and scene.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm proud of myself for this episode title. As I had it as something else because I tried to set it up early. And the other night, like before I went to bed, I was like, "Oh, it's perfect." The
title episode
was Captive Audience.
You know what I did? I had a feeling what was coming today because I was up late as I am doing productivity things, quote unquote, until 3 a.m. on YouTube, and the notification for the premiere had come up with the title and I was like, oh, are we not? What is happening? And then I knew, I had a feeling, and I'm so excited that I was right. How did you feel about oh, you can't wait for next
week. I just can't wait for next episode. I don't want to wait a whole week.
How do you feel, Max, about like changing things up for us?
In what way?
I think we were talking in the post show just before about how like having the visual element versus and I know, Bun, like you had some opinions on that as well.
Yeah, we had like you and I had kind of differing opinions. Maybe we should share first and then Max could talk.
Yes, because I think it would be interesting for other players to get a sense of how both you and I kind of absorbed being put in that situation, I guess.
Yeah, so it was a really unique fight in that Max set up all of the lines of sight and the lighting and the walls. Basically, the map was set up in a way to where when we were looking at it through on our side, we couldn't see everything. Chat could see more than we could see. So chat, if you're watching this or if you go back and watch it, you'll be able to see the layout of like the dungeon we were in, the sort of like prisoner cell room. But for us, the way the map was these small rooms broken into two wings. We really couldn't see anything unless we were right in it. And so it was giving me a little bit of like almost like a claustrophobic feeling. And I was having a hard time because we had Taj do recon and she came back and told us what she saw, but I was having a lot of trouble remembering things because I wasn't being able to visualize it. I couldn't see that part of the map at all. And that's fine. I think that's actually really smart and really good from a DM perspective. But me as a player, I was like, okay, well, I'm supposed to know what's down there because she told me, but my brain just isn't grasping this information because I'm a visual person. So it can be really hard for me to like internalize that information and keep it. And so it would come back to my turn, and the turns are really long because we had so many people and so many characters. And I'm like, okay, where are all these people again? I should be able to hear things and see things, but I'm struggling, and I kind of struggled through it. But I thought it wasn't a bad thing. And it was really interesting because Nina, you had kind of the opposite perspective.
Yeah, I loved it because for me, so like, I'm trying to get better at the theater of the mind stuff in general, but I'm also a very visual person. So I appreciate being able to actually see the space that's around me, what is actually in my line of sight, what's not, and stuff like that. But then I think I also still, I guess I'm more balanced in terms of like, it's like, just because it's not on the page doesn't mean that I can't see it. Like I can still, I still kind of have the mental note of like, oh, there's stuff in there. I might not necessarily know exactly how many or what, but I still know that there's things there. So for me, it was, although the caveat to that is that Kuda, I think, might have had better vision than most other characters. So that could also be like a technical thing as well. And I think we just had like a couple of glitches and stuff with like
there was
different
some
characters having to refresh and things.
I was having a lot of issues too, and that could be the entire cause of my problems. Like my brain maybe just shut down a little bit at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm wondering, like maybe a little bit over time, when those kinks get smoothed out a little bit, maybe it will improve the experience and stuff like that. But I thought it was so cool, like actually being immersed in what was happening to my character, what's within reach, what can I see. And it made it more fun too when other characters go invisible and we can no longer see them on the map from our perspective.
Yep.
It's so fun because stressful. I could see, I only knew where Taj was because I could see Bucket floating through the map. Kind of thing. So yeah. But yeah, I found it really, really helpful and I really, really enjoyed it. So I was like a little bit sad that you like struggled so much with it. But
that's just
hopefully we'll work it out. And yeah, it was hopefully just like a couple of glitches and stuff.
It could also happen exactly the same on another night and our opinions could flip. You know, it's like one of those things where like
that's true.
It's always different how you feel about that stuff.
But also the way that like different players, that's kind of the crux of what I was getting at. The way that different players can infer information and prefer to infer information can be like so different and on such a spectrum. Like some people are like entirely theater of the mind and you put a map in front of them and they're like, I do not know what to do with this. Like, this is confusing me and I hate it.
Yeah. And I think what's interesting
I do want to say real quick, Max, is that I appreciate some of the other elements you did add in to help us with the theater of the mind of like, we couldn't see what was happening in a specific cell, but you would have like a kobold yell out something and we'd be like, oh gosh, okay, well there's someone in there, obviously.
Yeah.
Sorry, you go ahead. I just thought that was like so cool.
To get out the whole time.
I know.
No, I think it's interesting because at the end of the previous episode 29, I described that opening area and both hallways, like what you saw. And I didn't want it. I was afraid as a DM of it devolving into another, what I call conversational cul-de-sacs, where you go around and around about what to make the plan about and what to do and all that stuff. So I thought like, okay, instead of describing like the map is here, they're going to use the map anyway, I'll just put it in front of them before combat so they can physically see what's happening. And maybe that would draw them in more because I don't know. I'll probably do it back and forth depending on the situation. But I already described it in detail last time. I just throw it in front of you this time.
And the thing is, even though you described it last time, like, and even if you kind of describe it a little bit at the start of the session again, it's almost like I have to repaint the picture in my mind each time, and it's really hard to retain all that information. So I think that it worked, like just being like, here you are, this is where you guys are at. And it's like, what are each of you doing kind of thing. And it's like, well, we have to make decisions. Like,
yeah, and that was my goal too, of like having the guards walk around and do stuff and patrol, like to give you a sense of urgency, because like you're in there, like you can't like just hang out and like talk and chat and stuff. Like it's go time. So
you did make that clear too. Like I think you definitely made clear to us, like you do have to like something's happening, like kind of thing. And then this guard starts coming out of the hallway, and I'm in front of like the one door, because when he was asking for wine, I didn't realize that the barrels were probably like the barrels of wine, and I had assumed this guy was going to go back out the portal to go to like the store, the warehouse or something.
That's why you started panicking.
I started panicking because poor Cooter's in front of the door.
Cooter immediately panicked, like, oh
God. Kill me.
Yeah.
I have to say, Cooter this episode, like nobody had a lot of screen time because there was just so much combat and so much going on, but Cooter had some like really amazing moments, and I'm really curious where it's going to go from here, because you had a couple moments this game where you were like, yeah, set him on fire. This adventure has changed me. And then later you were on top of the barrels, just like shooting, like, I'm
crossbow.
I was like, who is she? Like, I'm excited to see Cooter moving forward.
Things have changed, and it's almost like where it used to be that Cooter was so scared to like cause anyone pain or whatever. It's like now she's so close to this group of people that it's kind of like the one over the many kind of situation. It's like, what would you do for other people versus the people closest to you? And when it becomes like that, then it's kind of like, it's like, I still feel bad for these people, but also the adrenaline.
And also it's clear these guys are like shady guys. Like, right? Like this is some sort of crime syndicate situation. So it's like, I mean, we're shady guys too, I guess, by that definition. So I don't know. But
I don't think Emmy and Cooter see it that way still.
No, I don't think they do. I don't think it's in their hearts to see it that way. Yeah.
It's almost like she's found her joy in retirement finally. Like she's found her like retirement hobby.
Pirating and murdering people is her retirement hobby.
Just being an adventurer. She's like, I'm joining this pirate crew. And I'm going to live out the rest of my days just doing all the random crap that I never got to in the past couple centuries.
So I made a comment during the episode because and this is a change of subject, but it was on my mind since that happened we have a house rule where if someone is unconscious, if they get brought down to 0 HP and unconscious, the next turn while they're making their death saving throws, they're supposed to do a little flashback of their life.
Yeah.
I think that the first flashback should immediately happen when you go down first, because with this group, there's so much healing and there's so much stuff that I don't think anyone's going to make any death saving throws and they go down. So
no, it's hard because I want those moments to be few and far between so that they also feel important. But I agree, we do have a lot of healing in this group, so it's tricky.
Yeah, because I don't think there's been one, and we've had there's been a couple times, at least 3 or 4 that I can think of, where someone's went down to maybe 0 and they just come back up, which is great as a team effort. People would want to help out their companions, but then we never get those kind of moments.
I think we can get those in other ways if we want to bring those into the game. You know, like I don't think it necessarily has to be like that. It could be maybe we're camping and you're like, hey, what are you dreaming about? Tell the audience. Like it's not like the other players get to know it or the other characters get to know it, the player characters anyways. So I think there's plenty of ways to bring that in, because I still like it as being a little bit of a treat during a really dark moment. I think there's something really beautiful about that. But I think maybe it's on us to think of some other ways to bring that character backstory in.
Yeah. So
which
I don't know.
We have been doing a little bit over time, I think. I think it's been like that slow roll into kind of getting little bits and pieces together. Like we've been talking about how excited everyone is to go to Atlantis. To visit.
For some reason, maybe it's my tired brain. I thought you were like excited. I thought you were just going to stop at Atlanta. I'm like, let's all go to Atlanta. Like,
going to Atlanta, baby. Let's go roll some dice.
Shout out to Atlanta.
Cooter's coming.
Why are we going to what's in Atlanta? What would we even do there?
Well, that's where my favorite airport is, by the way.
Okay, so we're gonna go to the
Hartsfield Jackson
airport.
International Airport.
And get
I'm
some
gonna have to go there one day.
peach pie. I don't know.
I mean,
Oh no, I was in North Carolina one day.
That's a good place too. Why were you? What? Anyways, back on.
NASCAR.
That's a story for another day. I want to know, Max, how you do this consistently, where you have a character that's really only ever going to get like 2 or 3 seconds of screen time, and you somehow still make them everyone's favorite character. Can you talk about like the kobold character?
they have names, you just don't know them yet.
They all have names.
Oh, absolutely.
Tell us the name. Drop the secret here. I promise I won't remember it.
I will tell the names for here of all 3 of them, since they all made it out alive as everyone's treat, even though one almost got fireballed.
And we keep them.
There is Zix, Sizik, and Clink.
We should invite them to join our crew. They would be best friends with Chowder.
Taj will.
Okay.
Just wait.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that was on. I'm pretty sure that was part of the plan.
I have to remember.
Yeah,
let's remember to do that.
With the kobolds, I just had to think of like, if this place is supposed to be like a holding facility or a jail that's run by the cartel, like who would be there? Like what kind of people would be there? Why would they be there? And they all have their own little backstory of like what they did and why they're in there and why they're locked up. And it just made it feel more immersive, I think, because if such a facility exists, like why would only Hayden be in there? Why would they have cleared it out? Like that kind of thing. So there were several cells. Like, well, some of them have to they have to use them, obviously. So that's kind of what I started with, and kind of went off of that point of like, oh well, who would the cartel want to lock up and ask questions or that kind of stuff? What happens if you cross them? I don't know. So that's where I loved springboarded it.
And I love that Taj was immediately like, we're the good guys, help us.
I really wanted that to happen. I really wanted those cells to open up and then just let the kobolds loose, but they're so squishy yeah.
So basically, while everyone's interviewing Fancy Pants, Cooter's just going to be going around investigating this whole place.
Yeah,
but there's loot. I bet we can get some good loot off of all this area too.
She will find it. She'll just stand in the middle of the room and be like, yes, there it is.
You've gotten so much loot in this place. So much loot.
I know, we're rich. We finally did something.
Yet not rich enough.
Yeah, it's true. Because we're probably going to spend all of it in the next episode.
I will say that you all have, let me see.
Well, it's going to depend how much we sell that art piece for.
You have 8 magical items that you still don't know what they do in the form of scrolls and potions.
We have to do some identification
on it.
I need some. No, wait. I have an opal. What was the?
I thought you were saying opium. I was like, what does Cooter need? What?
Maybe that's why she's been so excited lately.
Yeah, she partakes. She went to the fancy club. Like,
that's true.
She's retired. She doesn't give a shit.
She's just still buzzing. Oh no, I do have a pearl. I have a pearl.
Yeah, you should be good. We need downtime.
Yes, that's right. The downtime.
You just got to spend some time.
Yeah. Need to spend a lot of time to ritualize all these things. You guys are just going to have to go for an adventure without me.
No, it won't take that long.
We can do downtime.
It won't take that long. But I
don't think Emmy wants to go on an adventure right away. She needs a nap after that.
And I also need to spend time dictating.
Yes, you do.
30 pages.
Yeah. Oh my God, this entire fight, Cooter's like...
Nobody talk to me this long rest. I've got shit to do.
Yeah.
For anyone that doesn't remember, Cooter's memorized some information for us that we need to write down before she forgets it.
A ledger. 30-page ledger.
Ledger of shipment.
The shipment info between the Church of the Lightsmith and Ontes. What I'm interested in is what are y'all gonna do with that tapestry? That's what I want to know, because there are lots of options that you could go after, each of which have their own.
In a museum, first off.
Be good.
Secondly, We could also return it to the artist, which is
Yeah.
probably the right thing to do. Reparations and all that kind of stuff. Thirdly, it's worth a lot of money, but getting it sold properly could put us in a rough spot because then people are going to know we stole it. Whoever owns that is probably going to be like, oh, what the hell?
20,000 gold pieces is the top end.
I want the money. I want the money. I want the money. I want the money.
Yeah.
Kuda doesn't care so much because she's already the money bags of the group.
If we get this
She just
money,
wants
Not
we
that
can
much money.
upgrade our ship. We can pay our crew. We can have super slop for dinner every night.
There are ship
Kuda loves
upgrades
food.
you could look
Well,
into for
basically-
sure.
Think of all
So
the
that's
booze
basically
she can
the
buy.
thing is that Kuda just like abstains from these decisions
okay.
because she just
Except-
it doesn't impact her.
She
Like,
clearly
has
doesn't
no strong
abstain from
opinion.
her opium habit, so you're gonna need some money soon, girl.
Opium is not canon in this, by
Yeah.
the way.
Oh, okay.
those were legal substances in the
Sparkly
fantasy world.
rock drugs. What were they? I don't know.
I have the list. I don't have
They
it in front
got
of me
me
though.
real stoned.
That's, I mean, yeah, that's what I thought was so funny.
Yes.
Oi, oi, oi.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just going to be interesting to me. I mean, I will say one thing Cooter does care about is research, and greasing the palms of people that make things happen can go a long way too. So,
That's
Yes,
true. That's
they
true.
do.
but
Wait,
anyway,
I have a question that just occurred to
Yeah.
me.
last question.
Okay, last question. Max,
Oh,
if Hayden is unpetrified,
mm-hmm.
those bitches back on that other place owe us a favor.
I mean, that's for you all to figure out.
We did them a solid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they were prepared to reciprocate it. It wasn't their fault he
Yeah.
got taken.
Yeah, but it's not our fault that he doesn't.
Sounds like you got to take that up with the the powers that be over in Escos.
Sounds like
Mhm.
leverage to me.
Yeah, and then you can work that into getting kicked off another island.
Maybe we can get more. Hey, no,
Azric doesn't like it there for reasons.
that's
so,
true. He really doesn't.
But
He's probably doesn't
anyway,
even want to go back now.
we'll figure out what the heck y'all are gonna do next time. So thanks everyone for watching.
Thanks,
Go check us out
everyone.
on YouTube and Patreon and all the other social medias and our podcasts, Caches and Cantrips everywhere. So thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.